A very warm welcome to Bhutan This Week, our weekly news magazine program with me, Ishi Gelson. Our top stories this week: the Health Ministry is reviewing the quality of food in hospitals. The growth of agriculture sector is slow in the country. And Bhutan has the highest number of adolescent tobacco users in Southeast Asia. The Health Ministry has asked all the health facilities in the country to review the implementations of patients' diet system and submit an action plan report along with accountability statement latest by 20th July. This is following the latest recommendations provided by the Royal Audit Authority on the provision of meals for patients.
The performance audit on provision of patient meals stated that all inpatients were provided regular meals despite clinical conditions. The report stated failing to meet the specific nutritional needs of the patients is expected to worsen the disease conditions and extend the recovery. However, the report states there were no nutrient criteria for preparing inpatients' menu in hospitals and were never analyzed for nutritional content. Further, as per the report, the lack of standardized recipes and repeated menus has resulted in ineffective planning of hospital meal menu. The Royal Audit Authority provided 10 recommendations to improve the meals in the hospitals. The Health Ministry developed a guideline for inpatient food service system in 2013, and also dietitians were appointed in major hospitals to help in nutrition and menu planning.
In general, it has not gone down yet. It is improving, but there is a room for improvement, and we feel that all the recommendations of Royal Audit Authority can be met. They're normal, because it's good also if it can be met, because their recommendations are also based on where the areas where it can be improved there. So we have also decided that we'll collaborate with education. Wherever dietitians are required, we will provide dietitians and we'll work together there.
The Department of Medical Services has also decided to review the diet guideline in this fiscal year. The report from the Health Ministry will be submitted to Royal Audit Authority in August. This is Pasa, BBS News.
Wild boars are still a nuisance to farmers of Goling and Kharsa villages in Chekorgeok in Pumtang in spite of solar fencing facility. The dawn of modern fencing methods since 2015, such as the solar fencing, has tremendously helped the farmers to ward off wild animals, but the menace still remains. Let's take a look at how the farmers live up to the challenge every day.
64-year-old Sharab Dorji of Kharsa village returns to his potato field with a basket full of resin wood he fetched from the nearby forest. He collects the wood about twice every month. Later in the evening, he will use the resin to light his shed and make fire on the edges of his 2-acre potato field. His farm is surrounded by solar fencing, but every night his presence in the field is crucial if he is to reap the fruits of his hard labor.
The solar fencing has been so useful, but very often the strength of the current weakens and then boars get in. We don't have to shout at the animals like in the past though. It used to be sleepless nights guarding our crops in the past. We have enclosed the field with planks and solar fence, but boars even chew up the planks and remove them. Almost half of the yield will be finished before the harvest. It is like a 50-50 share between the wild boars and us.
A week ago, wild boars attacked a neighbor's potato field. The herd squeezed through the solar fence from the small opening. Other farmers of the two villages also share similar stories of their daily encounter with the boars.
In my case, there is only me and my wife at home, so when we miss to guard our crops, they are being destroyed by the animals. Just a while ago, when I was checking my field, the boars were leaving. So even if we have solar fencing here, we have to keep guarding our crops every night.
The Gewok Agriculture Extension Officer says the farmers were educated on the importance of clearing the undergrowth near the fences. She also said the farmers don't do timely greasing of the metallic wires, which helps stop rusting and enhances the efficiency of the fence. For now, these measures are the immediate solutions for the farmers, but a guaranteed harvest is likely to remain a challenge for them all the time. Kipchu, BVS News, Pumthang.
From now on, pure local honey from Wangdipodrang will be available in the market. Phobji, Gante and Tanchu Geok started beekeeping in April and harvested some 800 kilograms of honey recently.
Locals watch from a distance as the process to collect honey begins. This marks the beginning of a new era for farmers in these 3 geoks of Wangdipodrang. Some 400 bottles of honey was collected from the 3 geoks. The Dzongkhag livestock sector initiated the entire project. A bottle of honey is sold at 350 Newton.
Till now, our main income was potato, but with beekeeping we can earn more income. Beekeeping is not a very hectic activity. It also does not need a huge area. If we are interested, from just a few beehives we can earn over 400,000 Newton in a year. If we are dedicated, it is feasible here. We must also focus on planting those plants which are best for bees for nectar. We must try to increase the number of beehives. It is a profitable business.
On a pilot basis, livestock sector distributed beehives to 16 individuals and trained them.
Here, most of the people depend solely on potato. We thought to increase the rural income in these feasible areas and initiated the project. We conducted training on beekeeping and taught them the ways to increase the production. We feel from next year the production will increase.
If everything goes as per the plan, the livestock sector will form an association of beekeepers within the Dzongkhag so that the business flourishes. For Komal Kharka in Wangdipodrang, Dojidama, BBS News.
Agriculture is the main driver towards achievement of food self-sufficiency and inclusive green socio-economic development goal. However, the growth of the sector has been slow in the country. Officials from the Agriculture Ministry highlighted this at the SAARC Regional Expert Consultation Meeting on Water Energy Food Nexus.
The slow growth of the agriculture sector is attributed to decreasing public investment, limited skills to adopt modern agriculture technologies, and human-wildlife conflicts, among others. Today, of the 7.8% of arable land in the country, only 2.9% is cultivated.
One of the biggest challenge we face is the losing agricultural land to other development programs. So every day, every month we are losing land to urbanization, to infrastructure development, many other development programs. And to top up to all this long list of issues, we have this rural-urban migration, which is creating labor shortages in the farms. And also we have been observing this farm feminization, literally meaning now we are seeing more female farmers than men farmers.
Officials say the slow growth in the sector resulted in heavy imports of farm products and imports. From 2008 to 2014, the value of agricultural trade deficit saw an increase of 17% annually. The trend also directly translates to ensuring food security in the country. The director said, although Bhutan does not face chronic food insecurity, there are pockets of hunger, particularly in eastern and southern parts. She added, shortage of irrigation water is a serious challenge to increasing food production. of the total cultivated land, only about 18% is under irrigation.
Without water, we can't really talk about commercializing or improving productivity or enhancing production. So this is one key intervention that Ministry of Agriculture and Forests, and more specifically Department of Agriculture, have prioritized in the 11th plan, which is the current plan, and also we have prioritized in the 12th five-year plan.
For the development of the agriculture sector, the Ministry proposed targeted and commodity-focused approach, transition from subsistence to commercial agriculture, enabling policy and legal framework, promotion of private sector and contract farming. Pema Salin Singh for BBS News.
6 central schools in Trashigang, Mongar and Pemagatsal will now be using a software to teach mathematics. The approach, first of its kind in the country, is expected to create a better teaching and learning environment and resolve the subject-related problems easily.
The software Maple 2016.2 will be used to teach mathematics for classes 11 and 12. Experts say most of the concepts in these classes can be taught through the software, which provides a step-by-step solution to a problem.
There is a popular belief in Bhutan that Bhutanese students are poor in mathematics, which is not true. They have been tamed from the schools itself, saying that it is tough, if you don't study you are not going to perform well. We want to change that. Everyone is complaining. Standards are going bad, people are not doing well. Now, complaining is no point. We have to address it somewhere. That is the reason why once we purchased this software, we thought that we will spare some of this to the schools so that it will have a cascading effect to the students also in learning.
To put the software into practice, 14 mathematics teachers from the 6 central schools have been trained. Each school was given 2 licensed copies of the software.
There are certain topics whereby with the help of this software we can make that lesson interesting one. In that software everything is been inbuilt, so we just need to browse that one, and so all these steps and the things it pops out, and so that's how student they can check how their work is been going, or whether in that way, whether their way is been missed out or not.
With the help of this FET, which is a free software, so we are able to, the students actually get the chance to apply the knowledge that we have given to them, and then they can actually see, practice for themselves. So in that way students learn better and then we teach better.
Interesting fact is, most of the parameters which you are trying to calculate manually, and then when the parameter is changed you have to do the whole process again. Whereas here you can simply change the parameter and play and see the results visually, which will make them understand what they are playing with and how it has effect on it. And once they see visually, it is going to help them understand the subject better.
The software is being introduced with support from Sherapsi College. The college spent about 500,000 Yutam to buy 30 licensed copies of the software. If found effective, the college plans to introduce Maple 2016.2 in other schools in the country as well. For Sringzamin Tashigang, this is Pup Game for BBS News.
Despite the ban of tobacco sales in the country, Bhutan has the highest number of adolescent tobacco users in Southeast Asia. This was highlighted in the regional report on mental health status of adolescents by the World Health Organization.
As per the report, of the 5,809 students in the age group of 13 to 17 years evaluated, almost 1,700 used tobacco products. With 24%, Bhutan also has the highest alcohol users in the region. Male students were significantly more likely to indulge in substance use than female students. The findings are based on the latest round of global school-based student health surveys conducted by the World Health Organization. The report states that the actual prevalence may be higher, as the current estimate is based only on school-going adolescents, and the non-school-going adolescents may smoke or drink alcohol more often. In Bhutan, 9.4% of the population falls in the age group of 13 to 17 years. The report reasons that mental health conditions such as depression, anxiety, or other conditions may have led to behavioral problems such as tobacco, alcohol, and drug use. With high substance use among the age group despite underage laws and complete ban in most of the countries, the report calls for efficient implementation of plans to reduce its consumption such as price and taxation and controls on availability among others. Pema Salinsring for BBS News.
Starting next year, people who want to practice vocational skills will have to obtain a license. This is to improve quality and productivity of the Bhutanese workmanship and reduce dependency on foreign workers.
27-year-old Tenzin graduated from Technical Training Institute in Thimphu in 2015. Since then, he has been working with one of the automobile workshops. But if Tenzin wants to continue to work as a mechanic, he will have to have a license from the Labour Ministry. The practitioners will have to sit for an exam to obtain the license.
With certificate with license 10 year wajin te skill ta kongi kara chajani ki ani duvala to system also lesion method tenen machine is use up is use ben method kadu use ben na machine license ye wajin che henkira to ke lab in to chimning ngachi workshop upon chini ani thomnyo the idea.
With influx of latest technology, Bhutan calls for improved quality of the technical manpower so that the country's products become competitive globally. The Labour Ministry will first issue license to electricians on a pilot basis.
So now we want to talk to Bhutan Electricity Authority, and the first step we want to take forward is in the Tibet sector is the electrical. So not only the qualification, yes, they have a certificate, that's a qualification only. But to practice now, we are saying the work that they give is a quality and most reliable and authenticated workmanship that they are producing. So only if we license, then only we can also control the inflow of the workers coming from other countries.
Today, Bhutan spends about 7 billion ngitam every year to pay 53,000 foreign workers in the country. This is Sonam Chodan for BBS News.
Investment in early childhood care and development, or ECCD, has been found to be a cost-effective way of effectively utilizing government expenditure. But failure to invest in ECCD has a negative effect on the society, leading to increased education expenditures. This is according to a study conducted by the Education Ministry and UNICEF. The study report on investment in ECCD was launched by the Works and Human Settlement Minister Lempo Dojichude and UNICEF's Regional Director for South Asia, Jean Go. The purpose of the study is to address questions on why to invest in ECCD, the current status of ECCDs in the country, and how to achieve the country's commitment of complete ECCD coverage by 2030. Speaking at the event, Lempo Dojichude shared the government's commitment in supporting and promoting ECCD. She added that while 18% of children between ages of 3 to 5 years have access to ECCD, there is still more needed to be done for children aged between 0 to 3 years.
The first place of a child is her or his home and his or her family. I believe home should be the first place, and parents, family members should be the first people to create that environment that will lead to happiness and peace.
UNICEF's Regional Director Jean Go shared that investing in ECCD does not just benefit the children, but also the whole community.
Invested in quality ECD now will undoubtedly yield sustainable results in the medium term, not just through better health and cognitive development of the child, but in the long run it will result in economic impact, higher earning as adults, lower social inequalities and crime, thereby promoting inclusive and active participation in community and society.
The finding of the study is expected to provide directions to the Education Ministry for the 12th five-year plan.
The study is a timely and an important one because we have been implementing ECCD programs in the last 10 years now, and we have not looked at how we invest and what might be the best way to do so. In that sense, that it will be useful for future planning.
ECCD centers in the country have increased from 10 in 2008 to 282 centers in 2016. The government plans to have at least one ECCD for every chiok to achieve full ECCD coverage by 2030. Yishi Gelson, BBS News. Parents usually read to a child to help develop their interest in reading. But research shows that reading with a child is better than reading to a child. Reading with a child gives room for more interaction and engagement. And this is one of the lessons the participants take away from the training on building literacy skills for a successful reader.
Jean Ho, speech and language therapist from Singapore, said books are not just about reading the words on the page, they can also present new ideas and topics for parents and children to discuss. Research shows that preschool years are the critical time for children to develop reading and writing skills.
So when we read to a child, usually what happens is that the adult reads from cover to cover, but when we're reading with a child, we do a bit more of an in-depth discussion. We can be talking about the pictures, we can be engaged in a conversation, and we know that when that happens, it deepens the child's understanding about the story and understanding, and in that process, we can also develop the child's vocabulary, which we know is another key indicator of academic success.
Parents and facilitators play a critical role in helping children develop not only the ability to read, but also an enjoyment of reading. And the training is helping them understand their role better.
The first difference that I realized was when I read to a student, I never wait for what they would say, rather than I'll jump in and intervene and say, oh, look at this, the story. Like for example, if I tell you about Ugly Duckling, I'll probably start by saying, this is Ugly Duckling, right? But then now, after this training, I'll probably go to my students, take out the book and let them tell me what they think about the book, rather than me telling them.
I usually, what I used to do was I used to read, and then he would listen. And then maybe in the, somewhere, few lines or few paragraphs down the line, I'll ask one question. He will be like, okay, and this, and that's it, right? That interaction, the interest to learn, or, probably I didn't make him feel that, this is fun. Now, from this training, I've learned that actually we have to read with the child so that there is a full engagement from his or her side also.
Exposing children to wealth of books can help them grow into adults who can read easily and frequently. Sunampem for BBS News.
After walking for over 700 kilometers to raise funds and create awareness on kidney diseases, the two men, Chetan Doji and Chimi, reached the capital. They collected more than 6 million ngultram from the venture, which took them to 8 districts.
Tired and drenched in rain, the duo together with other members of Bhutan Kidney Foundation celebrated in Kloktar to mark the closing of their journey. It started on 4th of June from Samdup Jongkhar. Chetan Dorji, a former tour guide, is the one who proposed the walk to the Bhutan Kidney Foundation. Later, Chimi volunteered to be the part of the initiative. After their walk was made known to public, people came forward to help them with accommodation, including hoteliers providing free food and accommodation.
There was a documentary on one small girl. From there, I got inspired that I want to do something for the foundation. I just felt that, but I was not ready that time. Later on, I felt that now I'm ready, so I just went and approached the foundation, and I was fortunate that the foundation has accepted my proposal.
The founder and executive director of the Bhutan Kidney Foundation, Tashi Namge, said that they were worried when Chetan Dorji first proposed the move. But people supported the initiative with contributions, and they collected 6.4 million ngultram from their one-month journey. Bhutan Kidney Foundation will help reduce the increasing number of kidney diseases.
In the country, I think the number of kidney failure is increasing. That is, everyone knows that. But I think this is a right time where we need to focus on prevention. And if we really focus on prevention, definitely the number will come down.
The event was also to commemorate the birthday of Her Majesty the Gelson. Samton Dolkar for BBS News.
That's all we have for you this week. Thank you for joining us. This is Rishi Gelson saying goodbye.